guys.
Hey!
How we doing?
Very good.
Wunderbar.
Wunderbar. Aki, you're
Always
quiet.
nice to be here at Romeo headquarters with the Romeos.
With the Romeos and who else?
And our listeners and our viewers and our
your
followers. And my, my very philosophical hands.
That's correct.
Is that why he's known as the Wanderer?
Yeah, I believe so. Everyone else has their hands on their laps.
But,
There we
well,
go.
I'm a crusader, so.
There we go.
Yeah. So, world headquarters, here we are.
So today's particularly difficult because there's so many suggestions for
Yeah.
topics.
Yep.
So I'm just going to pull one out of the hat.
I'm glad you said hat.
Yeah, hat. And hopefully you guys are okay with it.
Oh, we'll be
So,
okay.
shout out to our viewers who were kind enough to
Your
send.
viewers, right?
I mean, kind enough to send
Right, the
their
viewers.
the viewers, the world.
Viewers and listeners.
And the viewers and listeners who sent us something nice to see, getting some suggestions from them,
Yeah.
hearing from them. And,
Yeah, we're getting a growing number of views.
so there you go. Let's continue to build up this relationship, guys. We're enjoying this
And what is one of the key steps to building a relationship, Aki?
engagement.
And what do we need? No.
Oh, sorry.
So what do we need our
This is
viewers
for my
and
hands to come up, but it won't. I'm going to start civilized. Yes, Pat.
What do we need our viewers and listeners to kindly do?
We need them to subscribe and give us your comments.
Okay, so one step at a time.
And share.
What is the primary ask at this moment, Aki?
Subscribe.
Please.
And now, see what you've done to me? Please subscribe.
You're such a
There you go.
Please.
Okay, so my suggestion, based on myriad input and suggestions we've had, is that we talk about someone who has become a cult-like figure in our society, and that's Elon Musk. And more specifically, given current events, I think we should discuss, it'd be fun for us to discuss, whether Elon Musk is a Trump puppet master or puppet.
The elongated muskrat.
The only thing I know is that we live in the Elon Musk world. It's his world, and we live in it.
Okay.
Okay.
So
That's a scary statement.
it
by the
is.
way.
The other thing.
Why do you say that?
why? Because look at him. I mean, he's got his fingers in everything. You know, whether it's cars, space, satellite. It's
Social
amazing.
media.
Social media now, yeah.
Well,
But yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But it's a good subject because I think Trump wishes to be Elon Musk, and not the other way around.
Interesting.
That's very interesting, and I can see that, and I can see
Yeah.
your point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He wishes he was Elon Musk.
Yeah, he fawns over people who are more wealthy than him.
Well,
He fawns
but-
over people who have more control than he does, like Putin and others who control their
He's
state.
way more wealthier than Trump is.
Well, yeah, he's
So-
he's way more wealthier than
Everyone.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I mean. So
Yeah.
I think Trump is going to be intimidated to a certain extent.
We're talking about like huge egos from both of these
Yeah,
guys,
of course.
and now they're going to be on the same team, so to speak. And what we're seeing, what I expect to see,
Who's
is
the
this
team
war.
leader?
Well, that's it. But they both see themselves as puppet masters in their minds. I'm sure both of them they want to be the puppet master.
Right.
That's their plan,
Yeah,
both of
but-
them.
but-
So there's going to be a flare out here.
But Elon Musk knows who the puppet master is, and so does Trump, but he won't admit it.
You think Trump doesn't see himself as being the puppet master?
He thinks he is, but deep down he knows he's not.
Yeah,
I'm convinced.
I don't think I agree with you. I don't think that Trump is capable of seeing himself as anything but the guy,
Yeah, he's not
the
second
man,
fiddle to anyone.
anyone.
To anyone, correct.
I'm convinced somewhere in his brain, a little portion of his brain, he knows. He doesn't want to manifest it, but he knows he can't compare himself because both have big egos, but Elon Musk's ego is justified, whereas Trump is not.
Oh, but wait a minute. After this election result, that's changed.
I agree. However, I don't think people voted for Trump. They voted for the Republican Party, what it stands for.
Well,
Well,
I disagree with it.
Yeah, come on, the Republican Party and Trump, it's Trumperism. That's what it is. There's no more Republican Party.
Yeah,
There were 40 million people who voted for him, and who would have voted for him if he had gone and killed 20 people? They would have still voted for him. So,
No, but Dominic, you really think there is such a thing as a Republican Party under Trump's rule?
It's the Trump party.
It's a Trump Party.
It's a Trump party, but I think there's still some fundamental good people there.
well, of course, there are people who voted for policy.
Yeah,
That's
of
what you're
course.
saying, and I agree with you 100%. But
Yeah.
there's also a huge core of people who are cult following him because they like his personality, they like the fact that he speaks his mind or
Well, I don't know if you guys watched the football games this weekend. See how many celebrations were the Trump dance after a score.
Yeah, he's a phenom. We know that. Right now, he's a
I
phenom.
mean, it's crazy.
He's a phenom.
But I don't think it's gonna last.
The
So,
two of them.
I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to try and frame this a certain way so that we don't
Yeah.
navigate too much
Okay.
out of context.
frame it, baby.
So one of the ways I would frame it is by starting to suggest that whether you like him or dislike him, Elon Musk is certainly one of the most consequential persons and business people of our generation.
Yeah.
Fair statement?
Fair statement.
Yeah.
We all agree. I think.
Fair statement.
Right? One of you earlier made the comment that he's got his finger in a lot of different pots. It's not just that he has his finger in a number of different pots. Everything that he seems to touch explodes.
Yeah,
And I don't mean
except
and I don't
Twitter.
mean and I don't mean in a negative way.
It's
Except
innovative.
Twitter.
It's innovative.
Except Twitter.
I'm going to disagree with you because I'm not sure we're all clear on what his intent is with Twitter, now X.
Okay, well, if it was to make money, then
No, I don't. If it
Then-
was to make
then
money, I
if
don't
it
think
was,
he would have
then-
acquired it.
Well, I'll kind of comment that I don't think he intended to acquire it. He was forced to acquire it at one point because he spoke too soon, and then they made him acquire Twitter. So anyway, that's
My point is he will mold it into exactly what he envisions, but whether you look at low orbit satellites, you look at electric vehicles, you look at solar panels, you look at space exploration, everything this guy touches becomes massive, absolutely massive.
I can't disagree with that.
Right?
A little footnote to that story.
And
though.
he succeeds where others struggle, and he tends to do it in record time. So when I say one of the most consequential person, certainly of the current generation, perhaps of the past several generations, no one has had the kind of impact.
Yeah.
And it's easy to look out another generation or so and see how the things he's working on today are going to have a very, very long-lasting impact on society.
Right, and I just the footnote that I brought up is that he also benefited greatly from government subsidies. So now he's minister.
It's just Tesla.
Well, that's a big part of his fortune. That's a big part of his success story. He benefited.
Actually-
Tesla was on the verge of bankruptcy, and arguably it was the federal government that stepped in and bailed them out.
You know what I
No, the government, let's not confuse bailout with benefiting from subsidies. There are many sources of revenue for Tesla outside of strictly selling vehicles to consumers or businesses. And it's true that those have had a very positive impact on their profitability. But I would just not bet against this guy in any event. I think that Tesla was going to survive one way or the other.
Well, let's not debate whether he's successful or not. He's the richest man on the
I
planet.
agree.
So us going and trying to pick at, but he got this because of this and all, who cares? The guy is the richest guy on the planet. His resources are limitless, or as close to limitless as we've ever had on this planet. And now he's partnered with and is supportive of Donald J. Trump. And the question that we had here wasn't about whether he's successful or not, or how he got here. It's whether he is the one that's leading the horse, or the horse is leading him. And we'll call, we know who the horse is in this
So
analogy.
coming back to
So-
framing this, so clearly,
You
and
can add
I hope,
another,
I hope you'll
noun
agree with
to
this
that.
statement. This is a relationship that has come about because each party viewed it as mutually beneficial,
Oh, absolutely.
right? So each of them is in this for very specific reasons.
Yeah, so Elon supported the hell out of Trump at the end, was giving out $1 million per voter to get people to vote, and it went to court, and the Democrats tried to shut it down, and they couldn't. Because obviously he had lawyers who looked into this before he started this to tell him that it's possible to do it and he wasn't going to get sued. Because I think he's like 4 or 5 steps ahead of everyone else when it comes to thinking.
Which of the two do we think, and this is a question that's not easily answered, I think, but which of the two do you think exerts more power?
I think it's a symbiotic relationship.
No, it's Trump.
Hang on, no, I think it's a symbiotic relationship. Visibly or out to the world, it'll look like it's Trump because he's the one that holds the reins of power for the country and for legislation and for any of the tariffs that he may put into
that directly affects one country to a significant.
It affects the world.
No, but he's all about America first.
Oh, correct. Exactly.
My point is that whatever policies he implements.
Yes.
Are first and foremost intended to improve Americans' lot in life.
In theory, yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes, because of the influence of the American economy on the rest of the world, it is going to have repercussions on myriad other countries.
Yeah.
No question.
Okay.
Elon Musk exerts influence across all of his businesses on the entire planet and beyond.
And beyond.
And beyond.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to Mars.
So I come back to who do you think, and I heard your answer, we'll come back to it. So, Narayan, who do you think exerts more power on a global basis?
Oh, I thought you meant between the two of them, so I misunderstood the question. That's why I said it's a symbiotic relationship. Okay, so who exerts more power on the planet right now? Wow. Okay. So if you equate power to money, the U.S. has more money than Elon Musk. So it has to be Trump. I'll say Trump because by definition, I think wealth equals power.
Dominic?
Yeah, if it is across the world, it is Trump. Because Elon cannot control foreign policy, can control, whereas Trump can.
And guys, he's the commander-in-chief of the world's most powerful military
So,
ever put together.
I thought initially we were talking.
But that's an amazing question.
Yeah, it
because
is.
Your follow-up is going to be. I understand where the follow-up is going.
Because initially I was thinking about between themselves and not that to me is a no-brainer. It is Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the world.
Aki, do you agree?
Absolutely, Trump,
Yeah.
commander-in-chief.
Pat, do you agree?
Absolutely.
So we all agree 100%.
While in office,
Yes.
Exactly.
He has more
Trump has more power.
So he trumps Musk.
While in office.
While in office. Yeah.
Okay. So that's interesting. So now when you get back to the question of who's the puppet master and who's the puppet, that's interesting because now you've got the richest guy in the world who is kind of cozying up to the most powerful person in the world, which isn't him.
So I will say this. If either one of them calls a world leader, pick any world leader, does that world leader answer the phone?
Yes.
Either one.
Yeah.
Either one.
I think Trump's phone call will be answered first between the two of them, but yeah.
Not sure.
Depends on the world leader.
Yeah. Depends on the world. Yeah. Agree.
Yeah, but I think it goes along with the power question that you had earlier. But yeah, both. I mean, no one's going to shut down either of the two of them.
Who is more highly regarded and respected by world leaders?
Musk.
Yeah, Musk.
Do both Trump and Musk know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, wait.
No,
Wait
Trump
a second.
doesn't know that. Trump does not recognize that, not for a second.
Yeah.
Listen, the man's not stupid. I'm sorry, and the man is not a stupid man.
He's a narcissist. He's an extreme
Oh,
narcissist.
Wait. They're both narcissists.
Well, that's true. But
apparently we all are too. So anyway, that's not.
No, we're
No,
clueless.
no.
That's a different story.
I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Brain fart.
You were saying that Trump is no dummy.
No, Trump is no dummy.
My question was, who is more highly regarded and respected by world leaders?
Well, we all answered
Yeah.
Musk, but I believe Trump also knows that.
Okay.
I don't believe he does. He does have. He has no. There's no introspection gene in this guy's body.
See, what you're seeing is the outward-looking individual
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
the. Listen, he does his shtick. The guy is on
Exactly.
Trump 2.0 is Apprentice 3.0. Okay, he's doing his shtick. He does when he goes up.
You
there,
think
he
it's a
does the
shtick?
rap.
You think it's a
I know
shtick?
it's
And I'm convinced that it's his personality.
When he goes in front of thousands of people in rallies, he's entertaining them.
Yeah.
It's
With the dance and everything.
exactly, and he knows that people are making fun of his, but he still does it because he knows his people want it. He reads the people. He doesn't give a shit about the media and how other people take it. He just cares.
No,
about
but that's not introspection. Okay, being
It is. Of course, it's
being a showman or showwoman is not being introspective.
It shows that he understands what he's doing. He's not just being. He's
So you're
performing.
saying he's
performing
performing in a purposeful manner.
Of course,
Yeah.
he's performative.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. He's
He
not,
knows.
he's
he
not being
knows.
himself.
He's
He knows
theatrical.
what. I disagree. I think he is being himself, and
To a point.
which is what Aki suggests.
Absolutely.
But I think it's conscious.
When he goes and hugs a
Yeah,
flag.
yeah, yes,
Excuse me.
it is conscious. But I'm saying is
But
that
when he goes and hugs a flag on a dais, and he's hugging the flag like, oh, I'm such a patriot. Do you think he doesn't realize
Aki,
what he's doing?
Everything has a.
Exactly.
I'll prove it to you. When he got shot, he had the mind of raising his fist. He knew what he was doing.
He got shot.
Yeah, he just got shot. Who the hell would have?
well, because I'm alive, because I beat this, because I'm still alive, and so,
Yeah, but
so
That's
it's
what it's within 30 seconds.
that's instinctive to him to always believe that he is the strongest.
Demonizing the guy
I'm
just
not-
because you don't like his
I've already
policies.
demonized him. I've already demonized
He's
him.
masterful at playing to his audience.
Exactly.
Yes, he is. But do you think this guy, like most people, like most leaders in that position, do you think this guy ever doubts, something that he's done? Does he ever question, his own
course not.
decision making?
I'll be honest.
That's what introspection is, and I don't think he has any of that.
No, there's difference. There's a difference in knowing what you're doing and deciding that you're always going to be right. It's part of his shtick. When he said, I didn't lose the election, you think he didn't know that he lost the election? Of course he did. It was part of his shtick.
I agree.
And even though on tape he's told people,
I think you're
that
giving
he
way
lost.
too much credit.
No,
They lost. They underperformed, in the midterm elections after that because of him.
Stop looking backwards.
No, but look at the facts. Look at the facts. I mean, for a while there, he was crashing.
Yeah. So let's come back to the topic at hand,
Yeah.
because it's easy for us to get
Okay.
off track.
And
on
someone
this-
is
on
very
this subject.
passionate about the subject.
So do you
I'm
think,
zen.
Do you think that Musk and Trump mutually respect one another?
I think Trump respects Musk. I don't know if Musk respects Trump or is just using him.
No, they do respect each other.
I don't think so.
No,
Yeah, they do.
I don't think Musk respects anybody.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's just using him.
And you think Trump does?
No, I'm
I think
sure.
he respects his money and his wealth.
Yeah.
For Trump, in Trump's eyes, he's a hyper rich, strong man in business. That's built like a massive fortune. That's exactly what Trump looks up to.
Yeah. So I think, to answer your question, I think Trump respects Musk more than the opposite. That would be my response.
Repeat that.
I think Trump respects Musk more than Musk respects Trump. It's
Okay.
hard to say that quickly.
I agree. I agree with you.
Do you agree with that?
I think Musk is more strategic, and
A yes or a no would have been.
yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Because he's more of a thinker. He's more of an analyst than Trump is. Musk.
So in my mind, to answer the question, I believe in my heart of hearts that Musk is using the opportunity that he has in front of him to be able to sidle up to the leader of the free world who's about to put tariffs onto China for Chinese-made goods coming into Canada when he's making into the U.S. Into the U.S. At the same time that he's got huge factories in China putting Teslas out there.
That doesn't bother him in the least. Tariffs are fine. The cars that Elon Musk or Tesla manufactures in China do not make their way into the United States.
They don't.
They
No, they
don't.
don't.
Not a
They
single
don't.
one.
No one.
So then he'll love the tariffs because it'll stop Neil
He's
and
fine.
all the
You
other
stop
guys.
stopping the environmental credits that automakers are receiving. He's fine with
Yeah,
that. He
because his
doesn't.
cars are too expensive to get.
He doesn't need them anymore.
No, he doesn't need them, and his cars are too expensive.
And it's going to
for him.
hurt other auto manufacturers
Much more.
far more than it's going to hurt him.
Absolutely, he understands it.
Yeah,
Right.
the question.
So the other thing to consider is that this is as close as Elon Musk can get to the US presidency, because as a South African, he's not eligible for office. So I'm not suggesting that he would be interested, right? But
He's not eligible for the presidency, but he can
He's-
run for other office.
no, but
Like Arnold.
there's only one office that matters.
Right. For, yeah.
If you're an Elon Musk,
In his head, yeah.
and I will agree with Dominic's earlier comment, it's his world and we live in it. Until proven otherwise, I think that statement holds.
But should the question that we should ask ourselves, who needs more? Does Elon Musk need Trump more, or Trump needs Elon Musk more?
I don't think neither
So
need the other one.
well, I disagree. I think pre-election,
Uh-huh.
Trump needed Musk a heck of a lot more than Musk needed Trump.
Okay,
Now it's reversed.
now it's reversed.
It is.
Yeah.
And let's see if Trump stays loyal, because Trump and loyalty don't necessarily mix.
You know,
Well, no, I disagree with that statement. In the absence of loyalty, you don't have a seat at the table with Trump. In other words, you must pledge loyalty to Trump.
True, but he doesn't go the other way
Do
around.
you think that Elon Musk is someone who pledges loyalty to anyone?
No,
No.
no.
He will.
No.
Well, part of the puppet master thing is for him to actually feign loyalty to make sure.
Feign loyalty. It's different than pledging loyalty.
But you can pledge it as part of the the deceit. So
I don't know.
he's smart enough to figure out.
So
how to,
these
how to
guys,
play with
these
Trump.
guys, clearly, there's mutual ground
Yeah,
that these guys are both interested in,
definitely.
and then each has his own agenda.
Definitely.
I may be simple-minded, but I think that in Trump's simple agenda items, it was really about leveraging Musk and his influence to gain the presidency.
Do you guys think that?
After that, I don't think he has much need for Elon Musk,
No, he doesn't.
Do you guys think? That,
other than he doesn't want to turn him against.
so here's another twist to all this. Do you think that that Musk really likes the role of the oligarchs in the Russian state, and what Putin has set up in Russia, and he would love to be like the oligarch
No.
in America?
Where were you
Oh,
going?
he's not already?
Yeah.
Where were we talking?
I can,
Oh, come on, that's a step too far.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
You're trying to get into the psyche of an
No.
individual. I'll just add one thing that you.
No,
to
but
what you
hold
said,
on,
though.
hold on. I think that the roles have been reversed
In what sense?
in the sense that Trump needed Musk's support and endorsement and influence
He
to
wanted it.
really cement. Of course, he wanted it,
Yeah.
but to cement his presidency.
We'll never know if he needed it or not, but he wanted it for sure. Is that
It could only help
correct?
get him into the
They
presidency.
gave him a lot of credibility.
That's been done.
Okay, done.
Now,
check mark.
there are a whole bunch of policy issues that Musk would love to see Trump act on for his selfish benefit.
Union busting.
He doesn't deal with unions, but they're on the same page as far as that's concerned. And where I say is a difference is that union leaders hate both of them. Union members actually like Trump, but they dislike Musk. But I'm thinking, well beyond that. So, you look at NASA. If you're Musk, you want Trump
To outsource.
to the fullest extent possible. You say, you talk about inefficiency in government.
Yeah, cut
Look how
funding.
much money is wasted through NASA,
Yeah, you cut the
and they're incapable of doing things that I've demonstrated I'm capable of.
yeah.
Yeah. Recommendation
That-
1 on that report from the Dodge Committee.
Environmental policies,
By the way, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. Just
regulations.
yeah.
Musk wants to see fewer regulations. Why? It's not that he isn't green-minded. is that he wants to get his autonomous vehicles out on the road, unshackled.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a few casualties here and there, but that's the price you have to pay for innovation
There'll be way more.
and accelerating time to success. Well, there are a few other contenders,
There'll be way more accidents.
but no one is quite in the position he is at this
No.
stage.
The scary thing about him is this fortune that he has today is undervalued. Way
Of
more.
course,
Way more.
of course.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
all of his companies are.
Well, SpaceX is
Yeah.
still privately
Yeah,
held.
exactly.
You look at the I mean, is there anyone who comes close to having the level of capability he has with low orbit satellites?
Oh, he's got a boat. So he's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
So-
other thing, guys, that I wanted to bring up, which could be of interest to Donald Trump, would be the fact that his the main competition to his company, Truth Social,
Yes.
is X.
Yes.
So they are actually competitors, the both of them. You have
Well-
X versus Truth Social.
Yeah, not much of a competitor, but
Okay.
I get your point.
Well,
Of course,
but hang
he
on.
can
The
add
amount of
billions.
wealth-
He can add billions to Trump's fortune
That's what I mean.
by buying it out. It's a no-brainer.
By either buying it out, which may or may not be possible. Well,
What are you
the
talking
Federal
about?
Trade Commission will let
Please.
them go. They shouldn't, but they would.
They're going to
That's
let
one.
a whole bunch of things go.
Oh, regulation's gone, so there you
So,
go.
so he can buy him out for billions, or he can make sure that the compete level comes down to support. So there's two different ways that he can do these things. Of course, the buyout would be the easier.
His agenda is all about control.
Yeah.
So it's not a question of lessening X's influence.
Right.
It's-
So if he,
I can multiply your billions by buying out Truth Social.
yeah, there you go. I can make you a instead of a 1 or 2 billion, you'll have 10 billion in your bank.
Right.
And yeah, and it wouldn't even phase Musk to do that. So that's another
Pocket change.
Well, that's another link that I think the both of them have, and I'm sure I would imagine Trump, not being the stupid guy, has figured this out and understands that this guy can make him 3x 4x richer than he already is just by buying him out.
He can also help him influence what happens on the world stage, because as we talked about earlier, every world
Who can
leader,
help who? Sorry.
Musk.
So
Musk can help Trump.
Okay.
because there's capabilities that he's selling to foreign actors today
Mm-hmm.
that he can negotiate, he can renegotiate terms, he can limit the availability of some of his services, and it can very quickly become a tit-for-tat relationship. In other words, hey, Elon, I need you to do this for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Stop selling
Because-
satellites to this country.
Right.
I did that with Ukraine.
The Starlink, right?
He can legislate it, by the way. He doesn't have to ask him.
Or,
Trump can legislate anything
I don't think
through executive
I don't
order.
think he wants to lose Musk's support.
No, but I'm saying he could do. He doesn't have to ask him. He can actually do it. So
So I think he would do that with most people. I think he is clever enough to understand that that's not a winning strategy with Elon.
especially when Elon holds a lot of money in his pocket and can actually make him richer. Yeah, I think the more I think about it, the more I think that's the angle that Trump has in the back of his mind by keeping Elon close to him after the election. Because after the election, he doesn't need him anymore. He got elected 4 years. He's got no one running after him. All the criminal investigations, everything's killed out now or died now. So Trump got everything he wanted.
Yeah, the other
Now,
thing
the only
is,
thing he needs to do is get the money.
well, the other thing is that Elon could move jurisdictions in the same way as he's moved Tesla's head office from California to Texas.
Now, do you think Trump really gives a shit about that? I mean, I don't think so.
What if he were to move out of the U.S. and set up shop in some other country?
Well, then Trump would say you can't sell your cars here. And
No, not the cars.
on
The cars are going to be made in the U.S. The cars are the least of the concerns.
them. Okay, so what are you talking
It's-
about besides
it's-
the cars?
Well, I think SpaceX has got much bigger implications for the world than Tesla does.
Yeah, I know, but SpaceX is already providing all sorts of rockets and technology to the U.S. And I don't think there are too many other countries that have the pockets to be able to buy some of their technologies. So if your point,
There are.
so if
There
your,
are.
if your point is that Trump doesn't want SpaceX to sell their rocket technology to Japan, then yeah, they could legislate that if they wanted to, right?
So all this, so you guys,
My point is that I think the last thing Trump would want is to get into a pissing contest with Musk.
No, because he's got him
It's
close.
it's a lose situation
It
for
is,
him.
and there's a potential for a bag of money to be given to him at the end of his presidency that's going to have him be 10, 15 billion dollars richer as opposed to 2 or 3 billion dollars richer, which is what he would normally be.
So who needs the other most? We talk. I said, and I'm suggesting, and in my view, that Trump needed Musk prior to regaining the presidency.
And I think he's still.
And I think that post-presidency, now that Trump is going to take the reins of power, that the roles are somewhat reversed in that now Musk needs Trump more than Trump needs Musk.
How do we know that that Musk hasn't talked to Trump and said, "Hey, dude, I'm going to buy out your company"?
It doesn't matter.
$15 billion.
It still doesn't compare. That 15 billion is chump change.
To who? To Musk.
For Musk,
Yeah,
compared
but not
to
to Trump. That's what I mean.
My point is Musk needs Trump more because the 15 billion he would drop on acquiring Truth Social is peanuts compared to the billions that he can generate across all of his businesses if Trump agrees to executing certain policy items.
See, so I don't. The reason I'm not agreeing with you is because you're saying needs more. If Trump wants the $15 billion more and cares more about those $15 billion being in his pocket rather than in Musk's, then he will want him as close as possible as well. So I think Musk has found the trigger in Trump that'll keep him tied to Trump post-election. And again, the more I think about it, the more I'm convinced that somehow they've made some sort of handshake deal that says, listen, I'm going to work with you. Yeah, you'll get all your legislation. You'll get, whatever tariffs you need done, whatever. We can work together. You help us, make government efficient with Ramaswamy or whatever his name is. The guy,
Vivek.
Yeah. I'll keep you close and I'll keep you part of my inner circle. But in the end, you're going to buy Truth Social from me.
Yeah, so I think that's peanuts, and I'll tell you why.
Peanuts for Trump?
Yeah, Trump is coin operated. Think about it. If you really wanted to push that thought forward,
okay,
you're Trump. Hey, Elon, it'd be nice if some of the Trump family members sat on some boards of yours.
Yeah.
Were given shares.
Maybe
I'm not going to be in power indefinitely. When I'm out of power, it'd be great for me to have shares in some of your businesses. Because the fact you're talking about 10 billion, 15 billion, and look, to our audience, yes, that's an awful lot of money. But understand that Elon Musk today is worth over $300 billion US. And if this administration does things in the way he wants them to be done, the potential is for Elon Musk to become a trillionaire.
Yeah.
A trillionaire.
Yeah.
Unheard of. So for him to throw billions or tens of billions around is nothing in relation to the wealth that he can generate with a sympathetic administration.
I'm just thinking that Trump is coin operated, as you said, and wants those extra $15 billion, even if it's going to make Elon a trillionaire. That's all I'm saying. Because he cares about himself, doesn't give a shit about anyone else. That I believe.
Or maybe Elon Musk is playing his game and he's maybe convinced Trump of what you're saying, but then in the end he's going to pull the rug under him.
Could be. We don't know what we'll only see as it happens. But I'm speaking out loud, or I'm thinking out loud because I'm trying to see what the value is. Because to your point, the value of Musk to Trump was before the election, and he came through and he did it. But we've seen in the past that Trump isn't necessarily loyal to people who have helped him in the past once their expiration date has passed. And Musk's expiration date for Trump has passed after the election, yet he's still holding on to it.
I don't think so. Again, I think that Elon's influence is such that Trump is going to keep him close. Elon may be closer than Trump would like right now, but Trump does want to keep him close.
Well, maybe there's a reason, and that reason has to do with money.
Because,
that's all I'm suggesting.
Because, Pat, it's like the old saying, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer.
Yeah. Look.
And keep your paycheck even closer.
Right. So this is so out there. I mean, right now it's just what's happening is that we have basically like somebody out of a James Bond movie who's an oligarch who has this level of power. and possibly, influences the president of the United States and serves all his interests and continues, unchecked to accumulate, enormous power.
And vice versa.
And what's wrong with that?
Oh, well, what's wrong with that? I mean, then where's democracy? Where is,
What does that have to do with democracy? It's called capitalism. We can have capitalism.
Well, capitalism. No, well, excuse me.
You can have
So we're going to go
democracy.
back to the 19th century, the robber barons.
Yeah.
Unaccountable, unchecked
Who says that?
capitalism.
Who says that?
They can do whatever they want.
Why are you going to hyperbole? Why are you going?
Well,
to
but you guys have really explained what the situation is. How much these two guys, especially this gazillionaire,
Yeah.
how much power he is in the process of accumulating.
Yes. And
Right, so that's not. I'm suggesting that there should be checks and balances. I believe in checks and balances. The bedrock principle of the American Constitution.
Yeah,
And if
but
you
we're
have
not
an
talking about
economy,
legislation, we're talking about a human being.
but of course you're going to talk about legislation. When you start talking about this level of power, of course you're going to talk about legislation that favors the interests of Elon Musk and his interests and his companies.
Okay.
Of course, that's going to be one of the outcomes.
But he's achieved this level of wealth by doing absolutely nothing unlawful.
Yeah. You
No, I agree with you, but I'm concerned about
Okay, so you don't
the
want
risk
any
that this
lobbyists
poses.
to be in Washington, right? Because all the lobbyists in Washington.
I want checks and balances. I don't think it's.
Well, the system has checks and balances.
No, it doesn't have. You can argue right now on paper it doesn't have any checks and balances anymore. All the institutions of government now are beholden to Trump. He controls all of the state completely.
Well, what's the difference between that and any parliamentary system on the planet? Please tell
No,
me.
there's no difference. I think where we have to
I mean,
draw the
come on.
line, say, I would argue the states has been, certainly over the course of the last administration, overly regulated. So less regulation to me is actually a positive thing, not a negative thing. And let things play themselves out. So I use the example of the American auto manufacturers, in the 50s and 60s, owned the market. It's only because of a crisis in the early 1970s that they started losing market share and losing their way.
I agree completely.
In the same way as if Musk or Tesla falters, consumers are going to stop buying his vehicles.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the seat of power, when you're talking about there has to be some sort of firewall when it comes to how much influence any particular interest has, with the president or with the leader of a country. And I think that firewall now there's nothing there.
Well,
I mean, Elon Musk
don't
basically
hate
is.
the players, hate the game, because that's the game. The game is that there's money.
And I
politics.
condemn the game, and there's going to be a price to pay at some
don't
point.
hate the players. He's doing what's best for him.
And by the way, they all do. Every administration, come on.
Why do you think everyone in
Come on.
Congress
Yes.
they're all millionaires?
Yes, I know.
Because
The
they
level-
get insider information
But that's-
and they're allowed to trade on the stock.
But that's the game. That's the game of modern democracies. How do you keep tabs on that and keep it under control? Don't let it get beyond certain legal
But the
legitimacy.
people who are entrusted to keep it under control are hypocrites,
Exactly, and they're
right?
getting rich off of it.
They're acting in self-serving manner. They always have.
So this is a better option.
It's not better. It's just let's not paint it as because of the actors currently involved. It's worse than it's ever been.
No.
It's always been bad.
And people always act in their own best interest.
They're just higher profile.
Exactly.
You think they lost this relationship?
No,
That's a good question.
That's
or
the best question.
or how long do you think it will last?
Well, that's it.
So what do you think? You asked the question.
Trump has already shown signs that he's getting fed up with
Exactly.
Elon being around all the time.
Exactly. I think they're too big, their egos,
Two egos, exactly.
to be in the same room
Oh, that's for
for a
sure.
long time.
That's for sure.
It's going to give. Something's going to give.
So what's going to be the breaking point?
They're
What's
both great dancers.
Well,
They can have a
first
dance.
of
Well,
all-
there has to be something of importance to each of them
Yeah.
that they fundamentally disagree on.
Because I don't think.
Melania.
so he doesn't care. You said earlier you believe that Tesla that doesn't care whether there's continued the Biden subsidies for
On the
for
contrary,
green
on the
energy.
contrary, taking those subsidies away
It's better for
Doesn't
Tesla.
is better for him because
Yeah.
it's going to hurt
The other company.
financially hurt his
Yeah.
primary competitors.
Exactly.
There's usually
And what does a Tesla sell for now? Is it
Because
competitively
Tesla
priced?
Teslas are at different price ranges. He has
that's why
Yes,
the
Teslas
EVs
that
are
are-
at lower price ranges. That's why.
not for all. He does have some low cost vehicles,
Yeah,
relatively
a few,
speaking,
A few. The Model 3.
but they're the volume models. The others don't sell in large volume.
Yeah, but he's not. He's gonna.
It doesn't matter. The point is,
Yeah, I see.
He's streamlined his operations. He's not unionized.
Right.
He generates way more profit per automobile than his competitors do.
Right.
He's shown he makes a profit. Now the profit will be lesser if he doesn't get subsidies, but he will still make a profit.
Right.
Whereas his competitors lose money on every EV they sell.
Right. And what's going to happen is with those inducements gone, a lot of those competitors are probably going to have second thoughts about continuing to to go down.
Well, they're going to have to do it differently.
They're going to have to do it differently, but that means that
It benefits Musk.
It benefits Musk.
Tesla will be in a dominant position in the market.
Absolutely.
But I still want to get back to his question.
Sorry.
Because we're thinking at a certain point this love affair is going to be over.
I think so.
Fairly soon, I think.
I don't think it's going to be that soon.
Months, years?
Because
I think it's
I'm
months.
not prepared to say years, as in 3-4 years. I come back to a comment I made earlier. I'm trying to think of the one area that they fundamentally will disagree on that is going to cause a rift. So it's not so much that he's spending too much time in my company.
It's a good question. Yeah.
It's what is the one area, whether it's policy related, whether it's foreign policy, whether it's space exploration, what is the one area?
It's going to have to be policy based. I mean, but what's that policy is the question. And
Everything I can think of at this point, less regulation.
So you're not
he's
really
in favor of that.
so
Scaling back government.
Yeah, exactly.
He's in favor of that.
Exactly.
He benefits everything Trump wants to do.
Yeah, benefits him.
Benefits him and his business.
So he has no core principles, and you would say, I mean, he's not really an environmentalist. He's just a transactional guy, just like Trump. So he's in the business of, successful business of building these electric vehicles, Tesla. But that doesn't go beyond his immediate interests.
Some things are not mutually exclusive. You can be environmentally conscious and still be the world's biggest capitalist.
I'm asking somebody.
One doesn't exclude the other.
I'm asking somebody with his credential around green renewals and new green initiatives. Somebody with Elon Musk's credentials. Would he? Does he care at all about a policy which is drill baby drill, go all out with oil production? Is he like on a principle? Is that a principle for him, or he doesn't care as long as his little property does well? He doesn't care about the larger issues.
His businesses cannot operate in the absence of energy sources that you just mentioned. How does he operate his businesses? You think his spaceships are going?
But. I'm trying to figure out what does this guy stand for?
Orbit with batteries? Come on.
But what does he stand for? So what does he stand for other than profit? Other than profit and technology, we agree. He's a visionary around technology. But in terms of core principles, what will upset him? What will he fight for? This guy.
Why do you think that principles are what people fight for?
Oh well, excuse me. Then.
Well,
you think people fight for principles?
Well, freedom for sure.
Well,
he enjoys his freedom.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go to
civilization's built on people fighting for principles.
Now that he has a level of independent, wealth that is never been seen, he doesn't require the same level of support from governments as he's required to get his business off the ground.
So if you're successful, I just want to say, and I'm sure you're not going to disappoint me, but in terms of in terms of when a person is successful in business, right? Do principles play any role in that person, in that person's profile?
Depends on the person.
Okay, so
it depends on the person.
In
to a
Musk's
certain
case,
extent, it depends on the business too.
And in Musk's case, do we see that
No,
does he stand for anything? Does he have any principles, core principles?
Does he stand
other than profit?
Does he stand for anything? Yes, he does stand for a number of things. Is he principled? I don't think he's principled in the way you think people should be principled.
Like Bill Gates to be his principled.
No, but he cheated on his wife.
Okay,
no, does that make him principled?
But I'm being pragmatic here.
Well, you see,
You're being
nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
You're picking and
How
choosing.
convenient.
No, nobody is perfect. If you go back to Bill Gates,
all four of us are perfect.
Guys,
No.
let me propose a scenario where that relationship is going to explode.
Let's go.
Because I think Elon Musk will want to have his fingers in everything.
Melania.
Oh, Aki, come on, little decorum, please.
That's going to take more than fingers.
This is our principled Romeo, by the way.
This is the scenario I see. that Elon Musk is going to piss off a lot of those friends or appointees of Trump in different areas.
In what way?
He already started.
I think so. I think so because he'll want his fingers or his say in everything.
But he wants smaller government. That's exactly what these guys are
No,
about to do.
that's not the point. I think his point is if somebody is appointed to a certain cabinet post,
Yeah.
and Musk picks up the phone and calls him and says,
Yeah.
"This is Elon. I think you should do this, this,
Exactly.
and this."
Oh, I
He's
see.
going to be told, "You know what? I'm in the cabinet. You're not. Stay out of my business."
Exactly.
But you think he has that expectation?
Of course.
Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Agreed.
I would.
Okay.
But wait a second. If Trump answers his calls,
Yeah.
if Putin answers his calls, if Xi answers his calls, do you think anybody else in his mind shouldn't be answering his calls?
Well, I can see that, but by the same token, I mean, it's just common sense, right? I mean,
No.
in order to maintain this important relationship you have with the president of the United States, you don't go behind his back and start calling his
Actually, when
people.
you have that kind
You know it's
of-
going to piss him off.
when you have
Isn't
that
that a
kind-
loser strategy? I'm just saying.
No, when you have that kind of money, you don't need common sense.
Yeah. Who says it's going to piss off Trump? Trump wants everyone on their toes. You think he's going to object to having Elon call
So
Matt
Trump
Gaetz
is going to be
or-
okay with these big powerful people going behind his back and talking to his people without him.
It's not behind his back.
What
He
if he
wants
tells him?
every one of them
Okay.
to report back to him.
Exactly.
That's all that I'm saying. I think that's.
But it's not the same.
That's a very plausible
Oh, I think
scenario
so.
where it's going to cause potentially some backlash. Where Trump is going to say, "Oh shit, he's stirring up too much shit in my cabinet.
Yeah.
I need him out of here."
Because he,
And I think Musk is so brilliant that he doesn't want to be go there. He thinks he can manipulate and negotiate with Trump to get whatever he needs.
Well, don't bet against him. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you.
So by the same token, he comes back. Because let's face it, most of the people that Trump is going to appoint, they're intellectually
Lightweights.
they don't reach
Lightweights.
They're not
Elon's
geniuses.
ankle, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
imagine for a moment he comes back to Trump and said, "I know we said $2 trillion, but practically speaking, look, I'm actually coming back to you. Here's $500 billion that you can take out of government, and it just so happens that my businesses can help you in the following ways, right? NASA, and
Absolutely.
so on and so forth, right? Win-win. Trump's going to say, "Hey, fantastic."
Do it.
Is that going to piss off other people in Trump's orbit? Of course it's going to.
yeah.
But none of them can hold a candle. They can't think at the level Musk can think. They can't act as quickly as Musk can act.
And I think Vivek is definitely in that category, but that's a side comment.
Well, he's a very intelligent guy. I don't like him one bit, but he's a very intelligent guy. But he's not in the same league as Musk.
No.
Musk is just a different animal.
No, I think Vivek and Nikki Haley that's the level we're looking at, and Musk is in a completely different level.
Okay, so we know you hate his cabinet.
So how long was the question? How
Stop
long?
putting
I say
hate.
months. I say months. I say within 6 months,
I think
there's going to be a turnaround.
Yeah.
After he's sworn in. So 6 months. Let's go to June, July of 2025. That's my bet. June, July. It's over.
I like that estimate.
Why do you say June, July? What, this year? I mean, 2025.
Neither man is terribly patient and tolerant.
Exactly.
I think it's going to take 6 months. 6 months,
Yeah.
there's going to be a piss off somewhere,
Yeah.
and it's going to be like, "Thank you very much, but we're."
I just don't see it. I just really, I don't see
And
it.
then there's no prenuptial agreement yet together. So.
I think he's going to continue to really benefit from this relationship, and there's going to be no reason for him to turn sour on Trump.
So it's interesting. I would say worst case scenario, I can't disagree with you guys because I think both personalities are such that anything can happen at any time. But for practical reasons, I think that to the extent that he can control his impulses, I think that Musk will try and make this work for pretty much Trump's term.
You think so? Huh?
I didn't say he's going to be successful, but I think he's going to try
To
make it
So
work.
we got two
because-
against two.
Be-
Yeah.
because the potential benefits to him are extraordinary.
I don't
They're
think-
Yeah.
extraordinary.
I don't think Elon Musk cares about the financial benefits.
Oh yeah,
It's more the influence.
no, but again, things are not mutually
Yeah,
exclusive.
they go hand in hand.
Imagine him being the world's first trillionaire.
You know,
You don't think he cares?
I think he
Bragging
I
rights.
think he already is.
No. There's no way to demonstrate that he's worth it. You can say, well,
Yeah,
SpaceX would be worth this much if it were publicly traded.
He's not. He's pretty close to it.
Well, by all accounts, it's over 300 billion, which is a boatload of money.
Staggering.
But it's still way off the trillion
I
mark.
know, but I don't think that's.
And
Yeah.
the ability to build out his businesses in a way that will have impact on the next 3, 4, 5 generations.
Well, see, I don't think, I agree with you there. I don't think the financial impact of that is of concern to him. It's to have that impact. To be said, to say that I did this.
Yeah, and to go to Mars and to make humanity a multi-planetary
Exactly.
species and all this other stuff he talks about, which I love, by the way. That's to me, that part of what he does is
This guy's
fantastic.
ego is somewhere else right now.
Yeah, but
And he deserves
It's
it.
not just ego.
No.
His ability to exit. So
Yeah.
his vision is awesome, absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
His ability to execute on complex matters
Sure.
is, in my mind, unprecedented.
Yeah.
The amount of time within which he accomplishes things
Yeah.
that large established businesses or organizations are incapable of doing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely remarkable.
He just needs to do that Hyperloop thing. Get that one done.
Well, so there's another example.
Yeah.
There's an area you would say, look, congestion, this, that. That's an area where I would need government funding. And you know what? No one else would be eligible.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No one else.
Yeah.
No one has that technology.
Put a Hyperloop between New York and LA. How many years
Yeah.
that'll take, I don't know.
You think NASA ever thought about, booster rockets land on a platform?
Well, whether or not they thought about it,
Yeah.
they have demonstrated they're incapable
Yeah.
of replicating some of the missions they ran in the late 1960s and early 70s.
Allegedly.
Another conspiracy theorist amongst us, ladies and gentlemen.
When they were using.
Well, let me put it this way: whether you're a skeptic or not, we didn't see shit exploding 30 seconds after takeoff.
Yeah. It's all because of the O-rings. It's always the fucking O-rings.
So he's so far advanced. And then when you look at some of the largest traditional contractors, Boeing, etc., they can't hold a candle to this guy.
No.
Well, especially Boeing.
Well, Boeing's demonstrated it can actually bring people to outer space, but they need Musk to bring them back.
Or they can have convertible airplanes.
Right.
Just
Right.
the narrative.
Yeah, but by the same token, Pat, it's American capitalism. Boeing and all the established interests, they're not going to roll over to Musk. I mean, they read what's happening here, so they're going to up their game as well.
My point is, what they've demonstrated
Like
of
they
late
haven't been
is they're incapable of executing.
Yeah.
Like they haven't been
Incapable.
They keep firing their CEO.
They can't build a freaking airplane.
Yeah, well, if you look at the military-industrial complex around the Pentagon, I mean, there's a lot of very
There's a
very
place to
developed
clean up.
very developed players.
Drain that swamp.
Well, of course, he'll never do that. I mean, that's
Well, that's probably what he wants to do. That's why he's
That's
putting
sacred.
these neophytes in
military
these,
power. U.S. military
in this
power
cabinet
under Trump
position.
is sacred.
Yeah, he put a Fox
Yeah, I know.
Friends,
Well,
guy in charge of the military.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's see what happens.
So, have we come close to identifying who, if anyone, is the other's puppet?
Oh, I think Trump is Elon Musk's puppet.
No.
It's a tough one. It's because after the election, I still think it's a symbiotic relationship. I think that they're going to keep each other around for whatever they both want from the other. I think Trump wants money from Musk as an exit to his 4 years of presidency and selling his business. That would be my best guess as to why he still needs Musk around. And Musk, for all the reasons we said, will definitely want to hang out with Trump as much as he can. So let's see how long this happens and how it plays out.
So I think what we have here is a very, very successful master plan put together by these two people. And however, history and human nature being what it is, whenever you have massive, powerful families that are in alliances, those alliances inevitably always blow up.
Okay.
Game of Thrones, guys.
Yeah, well,
That's not real, you know.
Well, I'm leaving now. That's it. I have nothing more to say.
That was the right punch there.
Yeah, I think in their respective worlds, they're both master puppeteers. As it pertains to their relationship, I think we're about to see role reversal. So I think that in order to gain the presidency, Trump realized that he would benefit significantly from having Musk on board, promoting him, and touting the benefits to Americans of electing Trump. Now that Trump is about to take the reins of the presidency, I think that the big winner is likely to be Musk. And if he can contain himself, if he can control his impulse, which is not a given, and carry this out for the next several years, let's say for close to the duration of the Trump presidency, I mean, he stands to just accomplish things that we just haven't seen accomplished before.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to do a follow-up to this sometime next year. I think June, July is what we're guessing here on this side of the table.
I'll put it in the calendar.
Well, we can do a checkpoint for sure.
We'll do Trump Musk 2.0.
Yeah, and I'm very worried for Main Street. I'm very worried for all these, day-to-day issues that Americans were concerned about and they voted according to. I'm not sure how that's going to play out.
You know what? We're going to have to do a Trump 3.0
Yeah.
6 months from now anyway, just to see where policies are and where things have gotten, because I don't think the world is going to explode because of him. I think we're going to have to see.
I will say this though, right? To counter your point, I don't know of another Elon Musk anywhere in the world. And so if he remains on US soil and is driving an agenda that is beneficial for him for certain, but also beneficial for Trump, I think it's going to create a greater gap between America and the rest of the world. When we talk about technological innovation, capabilities, and so on, I think that with Musk's support and involvement, the gap with other aspiring world powers is going to get greater and greater and greater.
That's going to be geopolitical risk because China's not going to like that at all.
Oh, they don't have to like it.
Well, like I said,
But they
geopolitical
don't.
risk.
But they don't have anyone to counter him.
Yeah.
He's unique today.
No, I'm not talking about countering him. I'm talking about maybe flexing muscle, going after Taiwan. Let's see. I mean, these are interesting things that can happen, right?
Yeah.
But these are very good point, though.
Yeah, and income inequality, forget it, it's gone.
Oh, that was gone years ago. Come on.
Just
dreaming
exploded.
So you were hoping to solve that one?
I was hoping we would make progress.
Yeah.
Well, in defense of Elon, he tried giving $1 million to
everyone
a
who
lot
voted
of
for
people.
Oh, right. That's a solution, of course. Yeah.
You should have voted for Trump.
Yeah. Let's drop turkeys from the helicopter because they can fly. The WKRP formula.
Oh my God, you're going way too
I know I'm going. WKRP, the Thanksgiving episode. I really recommend it.
All right. Anybody have anything to add before we wrap things up?
I think Lonnie Anderson was gorgeous.
Okay, off topic, but we appreciate that.
Burt Reynolds agreed with you for a while.
All right, we're really off topic now, Aki.
Well, I've said what I've said. It's going to be very exciting, and we have to check in because there's going to be a lot of surprises.
Well, guys, thanks. I enjoyed the conversation.
As did I.
Viewers, listeners, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.